What's up, guys? Happy Saturday. Yes, it is Saturday. Saturday. Well, y'all know what we're here for. Like, let's not even pretend like we don't know if we gonna call someone an a-hole or not. I was trying to wait until we had some peepers in here, because y'all know there ain't nothing worse that I hate than talking to my damn self. But the show must go on. So hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. Alright, so first story of today. Alright, let's do. I'm a little confused about this title. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It says, am I the asshole for petrifying? What the fuck is petrifying? Not petrifying, but parentifying my daughter. Like, did she mean petrifying? Did she mean parentifying? Like, is she saying, like, if she was parenting her daughter? Like, I'm so confused. What in the entire fuck is parentifying? But I guess we're going to find out. It says, I have a 15 and 17-year-old daughter. My daughter never liked the 7-year-old and didn't want to babysit her, which I respected. I had a work meeting coming up and it was really important. I had planned for my babysitter to watch my youngest. She was supposed to arrive at 3 p.m. but canceled due to an emergency. I had to leave in 20 minutes and no one else could watch them. So I told my daughter she had to watch them. She got mad and yelled at me and said I'm not forcing her to parent. She said I'm forcing her to parent. She ended up demanding 50 euros per hour, and while I agreed, it was a lot of money. Now, mind you, so a couple videos back, we kind of did like the euro to dollar ratio. So that's probably like $52 an hour. Bitch, are you kidding me? You want 50 plus dollars an hour to watch your sister. Where am I sticking? $52 an hour. Do you know how many of us have had to watch siblings or cousins or uh, for free? And you want 50 plus dollars an hour, you little spoiled wank. Anywho, when I came back, my youngest was crying because apparently my oldest yelled at her for wanting to play with her and didn't interact with her at all. My oldest told me I'm abusing her and this is parentification, and my ex agrees and said I should have skipped the meeting. I get there upset, but the meeting was really important and I got a promotion later on that I might not have gotten if not for that meeting. But they are still mad. Am I the asshole? First of all, parentification. I need to know if this is a real word. Because I'm parent parentification. Apparently it is a real word. Parentification. I can't even say the damn word. Or parent-child role reversal is the process of a role reversal whereby a child or adolescent is obligated to act as a parent to their own parent or sibling. Two distinct types of parentification have been identified technically instrumental and emotional pain. Like, first of all, we're not even going to talk about the. How many of you have heard that word before? Have you heard that word before? Am I tripping? I feel like that's a new word made up for spoiled as white teen girls. That's what I feel like it is because that's what this story is. First of all, she wanted $50 an hour, $50 plus to babysit, and then you wouldn't even interact with her. You know you're not the asshole. Your daughter is the asshole. She's 15 years old. She should be able to spend a couple hours with her little sister and take care of her. Is that parentific- parentification? No. You're doing it one time. Now, if you were damn near raising this 7-year old, I'm talking about the 15-year old, if she was raising that 7-year old, then okay, maybe. Then the mom would absolutely be an asshole. But she asked her daughter to watch her one time. And then your ex, why didn't your punk ass come and watch the baby? How about that? How about that? Because I have a feeling that you ain't nothing but a weekend dad. But you trying to control my household. If you don't get the fuck out of here. If you do, and then they said that she should have skipped the meeting. So the meeting that pays the bills in this house, you want me to skip because my spoiled ass 15-year-old can't spend an hour or two with her sister, which regardless she was going to be here with her sister anyway, whether there was a babysitter, whether I was here, you were going to be here with your sister regardless. I'm sorry. And not well, we're not even going to bring up the fact that this meeting was so important that down the road it helped her with a promotion. But you wanted her to skip it? You got to be. This, let me tell you something. This is a spoiled teenage girl. Because, so 15 and 7, that's 8 years apart. My kids are 5 years apart. If I needed my son to watch my daughter, guess what he's going to do? He's going to watch his sister. Because that's his sister. And he loves his sister. Did I leave them home every day alone? Of course not. But if I really needed it, he wasn't going to have a problem with it. And damn sure wasn't going to ask me to pay him. Like, this is the most 15-year-old privileged shit I've ever heard in my life. Like, for real, for real. Like, I could see if this was a everyday ongoing thing. But according to your story or how you're making it sound, that's not the case at all. And she had 20 minutes before this person canceled. She really had no choice. You're just being a spoiled little bitch. I'm sorry. I said it. I said it. So since our first story was about daughters and moms and all that good stuff, we're gonna just kind of keep that train rolling, keep it rolling. Am I the asshole for bringing my daughter to lunch with me? Okay, I'm gonna reserve. No, I'm gonna say what I think first. If it was indicated that this was like some kind of adult only event, or maybe like a Sunday brunch where there's like drinking and kicking it, then yeah, you would be the asshole. But if it's just an everyday lunch, like me and my girlfriend are going to lunch and I had to bring my child, then no, you're not the asshole. Like this one is going to be situational. She better give me a good goddamn story so that I can understand clearly as to why she had to bring her daughter with her to lunch. But let's see. Late week, my 32 female best friend Megan, 32, set up a group lunch with our friends for this Wednesday. I asked if we could bring our kids because my babysitter was going to be out of town and I have no one else to watch my daughter while out at lunch. I didn't get an answer back and reached out to Megan an hour later and asked if I can bring my daughter. She said it was fine and she was excited to see my daughter. Okay, so I don't see how you're the asshole. Megan is the one who set this up. Megan said you can bring your daughter. Not only that, Megan said she was excited to see your daughter. So where does that make you the asshole? I'm sure there's more to this. We're gonna find out. But why is your daughter at school? Like, is this so? This was written one day ago. Why is your daughter in school during lunchtime on a Wednesday? Now, granted, she might be too young. I get it. I get it. But I'm just not understanding why you would even write this. But all right, let's finish. During lunch yesterday, I arrived with my daughter and things were fine until Susan arrived. She gave me a nasty look and rudely asked why my daughter was there. I explained my situation and how Megan told me that it was okay to bring my daughter. Megan vouched for me and agreed with my explanation. Susan rolled her eyes but sat down, and I thought that was it. The way I would have told Miss Susan about herself, I probably would not have been allowed at this lunch. I probably, and Susan, you got kids? Because it's usually, to me, it's usually the ones that ain't got kids that don't understand. It's usually the ones that with kids that understand that shit happens. And again, seeing that it wasn't an adult only situation, it was the middle of a fucking Wednesday. Like, how crunk could y'all have been? Like, come on. All right. As lunch went on, Susan kept making snide comments about my daughter being there, and it was getting to me. I don't like to argue, so I let it go and focused on having conversations with my other friends. When our food arrived, I asked for a to go box for my daughter because I knew that she wasn't going to finish her lunch. Susan, of course, made another comment, but this time I snapped and told her to stop talking badly about my daughter. If she had a problem, she could leave. She argued with me that I was wrong to bring my daughter to a child free lunch, and she has every right to complain because my daughter isn't supposed to be there. Megan came to my defense again and said that she allowed my daughter to come because she understands and knows my situation. She continued by saying that Susan could leave if she had such a problem with it. Susan called all of us jerks before paying for her food and leaving. I felt bad about how things escalated, but my friends told me that I did nothing wrong and Susan was completely out of line for attacking me and my daughter. Bravo to your friends. Bravo to your friends because maybe your other friends were annoyed too. Maybe they didn't want, maybe they wanted to talk about things that was not child appropriate. But they understood. Again, for some reason, I feel like Susan doesn't have kids, and Susan doesn't understand that sometimes Your babysitter cancels, things, shit happens. Maybe I made the plans before I realized there was no school that day. Like, shit happens. And again, Megan, who was the organizer of this lunch, didn't have a problem. So, Susan, why are you such a bitch? Why are you such a bitch? And to this person who wrote this letter, stop calling Susan your friend. Stop calling Susan your friend because Susan is a straight up bitch. She's a bitch. Period. And the way I would have cussed her clean the fuck out for continuously attacking my daughter, I don't give a fuck if my daughter was 1 day old or 100 years old. The way I would have cussed her clean the fuck out about mine, oh yeah, no. Mm-mm. No, ma'am. So I haven't even finished the damn story. Because let me tell you, I'm so annoyed by Susan. Like, Susan would be one who I believe what is it, parentification? You probably got a babysitter because you force your child to babysit your other child and raise your other child for you. So you don't know what it's like to have babysitter issues, do you, Susan? Do you? Anywho, later, later that night, I got a text from Susan's sister telling me that I was wrong to kick Susan out of lunch and how I should have just stayed home if I couldn't get a babysitter. I didn't respond, but I've been thinking about it and wondering if I was wrong. I did ask if it was okay, and I was told that it was. But maybe I should have just stayed home. Was I wrong for bringing my daughter to lunch with me? No. And Susan, if you don't get your sister, Karen, why the fuck is Karen in the business? Yes, I gave her name. Why is Karen in the business? Why do you need backup on this? Like, if had you just kept your fucking mouth closed, like if you really had an issue, let's just say you really had an issue, you could have texted Megan after the fact and said, next time kids are involved, can you just let me know? You could have done this so many different ways that you didn't look like a complete bitch. And then you bring your sister Karen into it. The way I would cuss y'all both clean the fuck out and promise that I ever saw y'all two again, it'd be on site. Y'all wouldn't want to talk to me no more. Nope. Y'all wouldn't want not shit to have to do with me. Alright, I'm gonna read some of the comments of this of this letter, and then we're gonna get out of here. So this person says, not the asshole. Your friend clearly has a problem with going with the flow. No one else had a problem with her being with you, and doesn't sound like your daughter was a problem. I'm always amazed with people not involved with the issue. Feel free to comment, Susan's sister. Uh, really, why push the issue? It's over. You didn't kick her out of the lunch. She chose to leave. That's on her. Technically, Megan kicked her out of the lunch. Because all you said was, hey, meet you black. All you said was, if you don't like it, you can leave. Where does that say, get the fuck out? Or I'm going to beat you? That's not kicking you out. Saying, if you don't like it, you can leave. That does not indicate you being kicked out. However, when Megan circled around and basically told you you could leave, she's the one who kicked you out. Did your sister Karen uh text Megan? Did she? Probably not. I don't know why the fuck you're picking on this lady and her daughter, who both did nothing to you. But somebody needs to check you, boo. Somebody really needs to check you because you're out of line. Let's look at another comment. It says OP's friend was the one who said if Susan was going to be rude, she could leave. Ain't that what I just said? So technically, Megan is the one who kicked you out. So why is it OP? So why is it OP is getting random texts when OP never said that? They're picking on this lady for some fucking reason. Like I can't quite put my finger on the reason, but they're picking on this lady for something. Susan sounds like she has a lot of personal issues going on in her life. Is she a parent herself? I think no. Again, that's my opinion. I don't think so. For another mother not to understand your babysitting situation sounds real sus to me. I have a feeling that Susan is not a parent. That's my opinion, but I don't think she is. Blah, blah, blah. Not like it matters in context to this specific post. I'm just curious because if she is, how would she feel in the same position? Exactly. Either way, I forget what NTA stands for. Either way, NTA, you should have asked the person organizing the lunch if it was all right and got permission. Not to assume. That's what it is, not to assume. Either way, not to assume. You had asked permission. You had asked the person organizing the lunch if it was all right and got permission. I don't know why you're saying not to assume because she said. And then Megan had her back on top of it. I don't know. This one is really rubbing me. Like, I almost literally feel like this lady is the same poor lady in both stories. I almost, and then I feel like if Susan has kids, maybe she is kind of like the first story where she participates in parentification. Look that up. I read the definition. If you don't know what it means, I'm still shocked that I've never heard that word before, but apparently it's a real thing. I thought it was like some kind of European phrase or something, seeing that that letter was from Europe, but it wasn't. Okay, so on to the next. We'll do one more since it's been 25 minutes. So we're going to stick with mother-daughter stories since we've done two mother-daughter stories. So let's see if I can find another one. Oh, okay, this might be a good one. Ooh, this is like one big ass paragraph. I hope she at least used punctuation. Because if it's just one long ass sentence, I'm gonna scream. Am I the asshole for deciding to not share my pregnancy milestones with my mom? Off bat, I don't think I can make a decision either way because let's be honest, there are mothers that have not been good mothers, that have not been very nice. And then when the grandchild comes into play, they want to be grandma number one. They want to be the best damn grandma when you weren't the best damn parent. So I'm going to read this story out and then try and figure out, is this lady the asshole or not? Christmas time, we went to see family, and they had known I was pregnant and I had miscarried, and the time it took with IVF, and that I would be trying again and starting the process in January 2024. Backstory: my childhood friend was also pregnant, and she gave birth to a healthy baby boy. She chose not to find out the gender until he was born. We'll call her Sarah. Really, that's what it says. That's what it says. I bullshit you not. Except it's spelled wrong. It has H on it. I don't know why you spell it with H, but anyway, like whatever. Um, the camper my husband and I were staying in, my mother and dad were also staying in. I noticed my mom had brought some things with her to my sister's house for Christmas and saw baby gifts. They were all Western themed, which I love. I grew up riding horses, and I was starting to assume they had been for me, and she still planned to give them to me. But I know the saying they say about assuming, so I decided to bring it up. I asked my mom about the gifts and asked who she had got them for, and she had said for my friend Sarah. Then she asked if I saw what Sarah had done with her pregnancy, how she didn't find out the gender and waited for the baby to be born. She said you should try that next time. That was very cool of her. I said that my husband and I were happy to find out early as this is a very exciting thing for us, and I get extremely anxious about planning. So I will want to be planning for what gender we are having as soon as I'm able to. Then my mother told me that if I'm going to find out the gender again early, not to tell her what the gender is because she doesn't want to know what I'm having. She said it was wrong to find out early, and that's when things can happen. She was suggesting that me getting an early gender blood test could have caused me to miscarry. My blood just began to boil, and I excused myself to go outside, and I took a breather. My sister and I are very close, and when I had came back in and asked if I she asked if I was okay, I said yes. Just what had happened with mom had said. Lord, I this is like we're on like fifth line with no punctuation. So pardon me. Um, and then it's all one big paragraph. Okay. I was okay, I said. Yes. Just what had happened with what mom had said. And now I felt her comparing my situation to Sarah to be more like her. She had told me that when I had left, my mom had told her I think I made her upset. Since the incident, my mom has not brought it up to me, and I have not brought it up to her because I am worried about arguing with her about it. I've spoke with my therapist about this and have decided that I won't be sharing my IVF journey with her and still finding out the gender of my baby early and sharing the gender with everyone. I did previously with my mom. If she doesn't want to know anything, I'm not going to tell her. She can find out like everybody else. Am I the asshole? No. No, you're not. In my opinion, you're not the asshole. And baby, let me tell you something. Don't think that you hurt your baby because you got a blood test telling you the gender. Like, don't think that that caused, because let me tell you, if that caused the miscarriages, doctors wouldn't do them. Let's be very clear that I'm almost 100% sure that that's not what caused the miscarriage. So, baby, don't feel that way. And as far as your mom, it ain't her baby. So she has no right to say whether you find out early or not. That's completely up to you. And if that is her attitude, I think you're 100% right. Let her find out with everyone else. You didn't want to know. You said I shouldn't do it. So you can find out with everyone else. Now, I don't know how that really is going to work because it sounds like you guys both live in the same camper. So when you start buying all pink or all blue, she's kind of going to figure it out unless she's a complete idiot, which she kind of sounds like a complete idiot. I'm not going to fucking lie to you. But the way your mom is just snarky and just it sounds to me that instead of her being supportive over the fact that you have miscarried and that you're going to try again, she's almost being spiteful and cares more about Sarah's baby. And it's not like Susan in the last story where I thought that maybe she didn't have kids, so she didn't understand because you're her kid, like you're her daughter. So apparently she's had kids. And you have a sister, so she's had two kids. So the fact that you can't understand how someone may be sensitive if they've miscarried blows my mind. On top of it being that it's your child. Baby, you're not the asshole. Your mom's the asshole. She's a major asshole. She's a fucking twat. Fuck her. Don't tell her shit. Like you said, let her find out like everybody else. Send her an invitation to the baby shower that might say whether it's a boy or a girl, or it might be pink or blue or whatever the case be. Let her find out then. If this is the attitude she has, you don't owe her shit. Nothing. Zero. Nada. As most of you know, my son is expecting a baby in a few months. I actually did the gender reveal with my daughter. Um, but had they said it was completely up to them. They're the ones who asked for the gender reveal. But had they said, we really don't want to find out. Okay. It's not my child. Who am I to say whether you do, whether you don't, how you do, how you don't? I don't know what's wrong with your mom. It sounds like instead of her being supportive, she's being a bitch. I'm sorry to say it. And luckily, you have your sister and hopefully Sarah there to be supportive of you. But, baby, you are not the asshole. Anywho, so those are my stories for today. If you haven't hit the like button, please, please, please hit the like button. Share if you care. If you would like to support the channel, here is, get my finger in. That is how you can support the channel. We are on our way to 200 subscribers, and hopefully one day we'll get to that 1,000. A story at a time. If I can get 2, 3 subscribers every time I tell a story, we'd be there in no time. Okay, we'd be there in a long time, but that's neither here nor there. I am going to reach out to Lex to see if she's available so that we can come back and do part 2 of the Gail Lewis saga. And then I think I want to do the Risa Tisa saga on TikTok. She's finally did the final part, which I think she's going to come out with like extra pieces. She's doing a live tomorrow. Oh, I might have to screen record it live. But if we ended at 50 parts to her story. And when I tell you like 35 through 50, I was just like mouth dropped, eyeballs like book, like, oh my gosh, like I just can't even believe it. So I think I really want to bring that story to you guys. Like, is she the asshole for divorcing her husband? Maybe that'll be the time. And I'm also thinking about am I the asshole Beef Sector Edition. Again, please make sure to hit the like button. Share if you can. Share if you care. I love you all to pieces. There ain't a motherfucking thing you can do about it. Meechie Black, thank you for being here. I don't know if you're still here, but thank you for riding out with me. Um, Share it to somebody. Share it to your cousin, your sister, your auntie. Share it anywhere. Share it on your community wall if you have a community wall. Just share it. That's the only way we'll be able to grow. All right. You guys have a blessed Saturday. And again, hopefully I'll be back today with part 2 of the Gail Lewis saga. All right. Bye.